What's up, guys, and welcome to the NetherRealm podcast. I'm your host, Diego, alongside my co-host, Thomas.
I really feel like we need a theme song.
Okay, I got one, alright? Okay. Do-do-do-do-do, T-Tipton, T-Tipton. He's gonna carry DK's ass. Do-do-do-do, DK. He just talks out of his ass. Do-do-do-do. I copied Bill Burr. Do-do-do. I guess we'll just leave this in there. I don't know. Well, it was a shit theme song.
It doesn't work. We definitely need to workshop it a little bit more, but yeah, we need a theme song.
Well, shall I leave this in or take it out?
Oh, leave it in. We're recording this live.
All right, we are live. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I really ripped off Bill Burr in his podcast, but I don't think you'll hear this. He's probably not a Mortal Kombat fan, so I think we're set. But anyway, moving on. Welcome to the podcast, guys. We're gonna be talking about the Mortal Kombat movie now that it is officially, in post-production. So we don't have a lot of intel, but we're gonna be diving into what we do know and what we kind of hope about the movie.
Well, I know all the intel. I know exactly who's in the movie.
Well, I mean, we know like the actors and stuff like that, but we don't know too much.
I know them though.
You know them, knew them.
Yeah.
How's that?
I'm joking. I don't know shit.
Yeah, about to say unless you were banging Melina, then I don't think it was too realistic.
The movie was shot in Australia. I'm not going there with a 10-foot pole for another 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to get.
Those spiders out there, dude.
Yeah, I mean, just hug a koala bear and you're pretty much gonna get AIDS. So you're pretty much screwed.
No, dude, and not like sickness. I'm talking about like those animals. The military lost a war to the animals, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, the Australian military is not really renowned, but it sucks. You live in Australia, you're not. I mean, unless you're TMK, who I guess he's probably not thriving too much right now, but he's surviving. At least there's that. But any Australians that are listening to this, we don't have any beef, and actually, I would, if you didn't have awful animals, I would probably visit you eventually. But until you can kind of figure that stuff out, then I don't think I'll be heading over there. Anyway, moving on to the movie. So, what we do know so far, like you said, it was filmed in South Australia, and it's actually the first time that the people that are making the movie are doing something that isn't a horror movie. So what do you think about that? A studio who only makes horror movies is making Mortal Kombat. What do you think about that?
Well, it's still Warner first of all, but one thing I would say to that is mixed reviews, because there's a lot. So just like first glance at that whole thing of a Mortal Kombat movie, let's look at that. The problem is a lot of people don't give the first movie its due. Everyone just look at the second one and every other video game movie afterwards. So that being said, one of the articles about it was saying like, oh, this one's gonna have real fatalities and stuff in it. I'm like, that whole thing, Sub-Zero dying, Scorpion dying, and Sub-Zero killing that random mask guy, those kinds of fatalities.
They do, but they aren't. I mean, I get what they mean. I mean, it's like the first time they're gonna have like real fatalities, and since they're gonna have them, the gore and stuff to it. Because I mean, I watched the movie about a week and a half ago with my girlfriend. Yeah, she wasn't a fan of the death scenes, so I get what they're coming from.
I mean, at the time, I think it was like rated PG-13.
Exactly.
Which I get, not a PG-13, but at least I don't know. But still, the whole point is, I mean, the Sub-Zero killing that one guy, literally in cold blood, that counts for something, dude.
I mean, they do say fatality a few times, but I mean, let's see. Let's go ahead and count like the deaths in the movie. There's Sub-Zero killing that random. There's Sonya killing Kano. Spoiler alert. There's
Guy
Uh,
Achilles, Scorpion,
yeah. Reptile dying. Shang
Sub-Zero
Tsung.
dying,
Yes.
and everyone Goro faces up Johnny Cage.
Yeah, Goro kills whatever that guy's name was. I can't remember what his name is.
Oh, you know, most people remember went through a whole roster
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah. And then he lives. What was the guy's name though? Johnny's alleged friend. What the
Art.
hell? Art. That's right.
Art using more Kombat, you know.
Yeah, he was in Mortal Kombat, whatever the hell it was. He was in that one game
Seven.
that was huge.
Seven.
Yeah. He was in that
Everyone
one.
again.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so he was a thing, and he got destroyed by Goro, and yeah,
By
like
Brian Chop on the shoulder.
yeah, like my girlfriend, she got introduced to Mortal Kombat in MKX, and she's only really starting to get into it in MK11, and so for her seeing that movie for the first time, she definitely wasn't a fan, but I think the biggest thing that she didn't really take away from that, or she didn't like that much about the movie, was the story. And I made it very clear to her that yes, it is based on the original story. There are a lot of things that aren't really how it is in the game. So I mean, I think that one thing that I would like to see in this movie, is for them to be a bit more. I guess I don't necessarily want them to do MK1 and 2. I would like to see something a bit more out there. Like, Natara's in the movie, if I'm not mistaken, right? She's already been casted.
Yeah.
So they're clearly not going to be doing MK2. So I want to see something that we haven't seen before, that we don't really know a whole lot about. So it can be something new, and they don't have to be like, okay, it didn't happen like this in the games. You know what I mean? I want it to be something on its own.
And I'm cool with that too. Let's see. Because I don't think it has anything. There's the cast is all over the place. I'm not sure what it has to do. What is going to take place in? Because you have Melina in there, you have Kung Lao, you have Natara, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Raiden.
You have Jax.
Kano. Who?
Jax as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, like, when I first saw the cast, I was like, okay, so they're doing MK2, and then or MK1 and 2, and then I saw Natara, and I was, that's Deadly Alliance. So,
I think she'll be like more of a cameo spot, like name, not like a name drop, but like a cameo for a future movie. She'll have a bigger part next time.
You think that's what they're doing?
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be. They're just cast. That doesn't mean that they have to necessarily be stars or anything like that. I guess that's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Well, for example, like we've been over this before. I'm a huge DC Arrowverse guy.
Yeah.
They just had their huge Crisis on Infinite Earths special.
Okay.
And they started pulling like a bunch of people from a bunch of things. So they even brought in. Hey, you watched the show Smallville?
I've seen some of it when I was little.
So pretty much they brought him back for a cameo. They made one make it seem like he's gonna have to be like suited up and be in like a big part of it, but he was really only in there for one scene.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean too. So like, that could be like sitting there with Natara, because apparently the actress that was playing her this is her first acting role. She only been stunt double in the past.
The girl that's playing Natara?
Yeah.
I was looking. I'm on the Wikipedia page right now, and her and the guy who plays Kung Lao and the woman who plays Melina. Those three don't have any connections to on Wikipedia.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is a big name for a bunch of breakout actors.
Yeah, I mean they don't have to have big name actors. Like, as long as they have people who can actually do the stunts, hopefully to make the scenes look good, and they have people who can portray themselves that you would hope to see some of these characters on screen, then that's perfectly fine. That's all that really matters. Now, looking at the pictures, I don't recognize any of the actors, looks like, but...
Well, so one thing I would say, too, would go on is I remember I was going through Twitter one time, and Derek Hertzik retweeted something a few months ago where the actress for Play Melina is, like, doing her fight training on, I guess, a scene that they were getting ready for.
Okay.
And it looked good. It was also just her training with somebody, and they're just using 6 actual weapons, but take that into consideration that they're going through the training for it.
It shouldn't be Annihilation levels of bad fight scenes.
Yeah. Well, no, Annihilation had bad CGI, bad writing, bad fight. Well, the fight scenes were good, ish. They were good-ish.
Yeah, there were some that were pretty good, and there were a few that were bad, but that's kind of to be expected. The one-on-one
fights were a lot better, obviously.
Yeah. For sure.
But I think I wanted to obviously go through the good stuff before we start tearing down the part we care about the most.
All right, go ahead. Start us off.
Okay, so like I said, fight scenes are definitely going to be a good thing to look forward to. Because I feel like they're getting a lot of people who actually, there are stunt doubles, but they've done this for a while, so they kind of know a little bit more. There's obviously that. Also, it's the first Mortal Kombat movie since '97, so over 20 years.
Yeah, it's true. So it's things have moved on a lot. And another thing I think we can definitely expect to be at least of a good quality is the gore aspects of it. This is a studio that specializes in horror movies, so they're very familiar with dismemberment and stuff like that. So they should be good there.
Oh yeah, well, I mean just that, well, especially the team who's working on this, yeah. But, so you were born when exactly again?
94.
Yeah. See, I was born in '97, so the year the second movie came out.
Yeah.
But I never got the chance, so obviously I didn't get the chance to go watch it in the movies theater. But now, since I said no matter what's going on, they already put out the release date for it as well, I will be there to watch that movie. I don't care what my schedule looks like, what my job says I need to do. I'm taking that whole day off. I'm taking that night off to go look at that movie.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have it here, at least where I'm at. They'll have it in mainland Italy, but here on the island, I don't think they're gonna have it, unfortunately. But I'll find a way.
That's for me, man.
Yeah, that's my problem. If I'm still here, so we'll see.
Tell you what, I'll make you a bootleg copy of it.
Ooh, we can put it on our channel. Well, maybe not.
Mine, so
maybe not. That's true.
Fine.
Yeah, I'll lose the money.
All that big YouTube money you're getting.
All that the 30 cents they owe me from a few years back. Yeah. But yeah, looking at the cast, so immediately I actually some of these guys do have roles in some major shows. Like the guy who's playing Sub-Zero, he was in Fast and Furious 6, which was, he did have a role with an actual script in there. So he actually had some lines. And he was in the judo national team from 1997 to 2009 for Indonesia. So at the very least, he has a background in martial arts, which isn't necessarily something you could say about a lot of the actors back in the day. So yes, it looks like at least they went with people who have a lot of, like you said, a background in martial arts. The guy who plays Liu Kang, he was in the Power Rangers reboot. He was in Aquaman. He was in Black Mirror. So at least we're talking about these guys that do have experience, not necessarily as stars, but who have done things in major movies and know how these things work. The guy who plays Jax, actually, I've seen him a few times around. Right? He looks familiar, doesn't he?
So he is. So from what I know from a couple of things, my parents used to watch, for example, Desperate Housewives. My sister
Okay.
did as well. So he was a character on there for a little bit, maybe a season or two. But his most notable role recently was to be Jimmy Olsen and Supergirl.
Oh, and in the TV show, yeah, I don't watch that.
Yeah, well, he plays a Jimmy Olsen, which isn't much of a fighter, so they gave him being Guardian as well.
Okay.
So he has a little bit of experience with fighting. Well, he has a lot more now because of it. But at the same time, like I said, on the fighting aspect, maybe he might be good. But when it comes to um, the acting part, it's kind of hard to say due to the fact that I want to be honest that those shows do not always do like the shows don't do always good with writing, and so that means like they can like I don't ever blame the actors. I always blame if anything I blame the writers because they are the people who wrote this track for them to do perform.
Yeah.
Like you can't blame the actor for something that they have to just do what they're told at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
I think that's
Fair
the
play.
only thing I think that's the only thing I'm like nervous about because I barely saw him as Guardian, let alone as Jax. But we'll see what happens. I'm willing. I think I'm still going into this movie with an open mind, mostly. We still have something else we need to talk about before we can talk about how open our minds are about this. We don't know nothing where this movie's going, honestly. We're just more of my fans who want to see a movie for the first time in a long time. The first time in the theaters for us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't see Annihilation in the theaters, and if I did, I do not remember it. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that I didn't. Um,
You saved yourself that migraine in the past.
maybe, yeah, maybe as a 3-year-old, I drank so much to forget how bad the movie was that I just completely blocked out of my mind. Um, yeah, I don't think that happened. But anyway, yeah, I was looking at his filmography, and I don't recognize any roles I could have seen him in, but he seems like he has a familiar face. But like you said, man, like we'll have an open mind and try to look at this as an opportunity for us to see Mortal Kombat in a different way, or at least in a different media platform, and hopefully they'll nail it on the head. But I mean, like we were kind of just like talking about in private the other day when you sent me the link about them being in post production. I mean, I'll say here the same thing that I said in that message is just that I don't really have a lot of faith in anything Mortal Kombat related at the moment. Not because that there's the lore or something like that doesn't have enough potential or quality, because I think that we pretty much both agree that if done right, Mortal Kombat is by far the best in terms of fighting games that can be adapted to any media, whether it's books or movies or games, whatever. It's just that whether it's NetherRealm Studios or other people, I just don't really see, or not that I don't see, I just don't really have a lot of faith in anybody doing things the way that I feel like they should be. That said, I mean, I'm gonna go into this without any real expectations. I'm not gonna expect anything good. I'm just gonna hope it's not bad and that it can be unenjoyable. That's pretty much how I'm leading towards this movie coming out.
And sometimes just I think a lot of people think, oh, you're just being a skeptic or like you're damn right because and that's why I said when you said that originally when you told me that at first I was like, well, it's not NetherRealm Studios. I mean, these are people who actually get paid to work on one thing, to work on the same thing, and they at least they have to. Well, they don't have to, but I'm pretty sure they listen to the audience more than the critics more than NetherRealm studios have lately. Even when things are like right there in their lap, and due to pretty much change of power that wasn't someone decided to leave means the fact that they are gonna scrap that whole great idea everyone loved already or could have loved because they have no rights to it. Well, because they don't want to mess with it now. And the reason why I say that, because keep in mind, this is a year ago today, not today, but a year ago, or almost a year ago, me and you were having the same talk about MK11's release trailer.
It was
And we're
what?
still,
When did that come
huh?
out? It was, I think it was
Around
like
this time, right
December
after,
11th, around
it
there.
was around the time when we talked about it closer to Christmas time since you were out of town.
Yeah, I was in Milan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. The trailer
Like we were
dropped when I
talking about,
was.
like, oh, it's gonna be the dream lady for Jade. You're gonna answer a bunch of questions that we've been waiting to know, and it did none of that.
Lo and behold, we have way more questions now than we ever did before.
Well, for one thing, why the hell was Jade not? Where was Jade at the entire last game?
Another
I
realm.
mean, hopefully, the more variation was that Tana lost Jade. And now all of a sudden, Jade was there the entire time.
We just kind of took something like, oh look, people are interested in this idea. Let's kind of run with it. I don't. Even, they probably didn't even have any intention at the beginning of actually making it that way. They just kind of saw something and kind of ran with it, probably.
That, but also, like I said, I know like who the lead writer was at the time, or someone who was one of the top writers there. They left, and then Sean Kingston took over as well.
So ideas change, stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's a whole
but then
process.
like he was the one who's in charge, not Sean Kingston, but the guy before him. I want to say his name is Brad or Brandon, but I'm not going to try to butcher that name right now. But he did say that well, he was one person in charge of pretty much 9 and 10, and like they had something really special to play with the whole Jade storyline they made. So they actually continued it. And we all thought that, oh, we're gonna get the old timeline, the new timeline next to each other, but literally it's the same timeline, just going to a couple of games ago, and you still screw that up somehow. But it's about Mortal Kombat the movie, not X.
That's probably like the most positive thing about it is the fact that the people that are making this movie are fresh. Like I think that one of the biggest issues at this point that we have with NetherRealm Studios is they've pretty much been making the same thing over and over and over again for so long that they probably just kind of run out of ideas and they've kind of just played it out too much. That's not saying that I don't want to see another Mortal Kombat game coming forward, but it might be time for them to do something different, whether it's a different genre altogether or maybe do a different story that we've never seen before in the Mortal Kombat universe. It might be time for the NetherRealms to try to, do something completely different. Instead of rebooting again, maybe try doing something different, showing us something that we haven't seen yet. And that's something that this movie has an opportunity to doing because it doesn't have to be something that we've already seen. Yes, the characters are familiar, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on off screen that you don't see in games. So this could be something that we haven't seen before. It could be an untold story instead of, oh look, there's gonna be a reboot. There's gonna be Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 again. Oh look, MKX. There's the Quan Chi, Shinnok storyline again. Just retelling the same old stories. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of an issue, and the biggest problem is when you keep on retelling these stories. If you change what you already set up in a lore that everybody agrees was already better than what you're doing right now, you aren't making anybody happy. The new fans aren't going to be really, I guess,
Definitely.
you're not making the old fans happy. That's the most important thing. But you're not building something good for the future, and in the next game you constantly have to fix it because you just can't. You aren't making anybody happy. So I don't know. Like honestly, at this point, I just hope this is something different than we've seen recently. And to kind of go on what you said earlier, like people maybe thinking we're haters or we're very skeptical about Mortal Kombat in general right now. Like you said, man, literally a year ago, the trailer dropped. Everybody's jaws was just dropping because of how good it looked, leading up to the game. They finessed me. I'm the king of not buying season passes, even for games that I love. I pretty much never buy any DLC unless, in general, like the entire pack is good once it comes out. So I didn't buy any DLC for Mortal Kombat X. I didn't buy any of the guest characters in MK9, which was what, Freddy Krueger, and that's it.
Yep.
On PlayStation it was Kratos, but I didn't have a PlayStation, so I didn't buy Freddy Krueger. So I've always been very good at staying away from getting the special editions and the season passes, all that stuff. But this time, everything looked so good. I was so enthusiastic about what I was seeing that I actually spent that extra money and
Hell, I
basically
convinced
got
you to do
fucked.
that.
Huh?
The hell, I convinced you to do that. And you were like, I don't know. I'm like, I didn't need to do it every time because they never let me down before.
Yeah,
And
they definitely let us down. You there?
I'm still here.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
But no, I don't know. Like it's hard to. Like, it's not like the impossible to get enthusiastic about this movie because I want to see it. Hell, um, my friend already threatened to kill me already because I said I won't let him go see it. But all that aside, I think I can put. I think I'm about to just put a break like that. Wait for the movie to come out, see what the trailer looks like at first. I'm not gonna steady watch every trailer that come out though, because at that point it's gonna just spoil the whole movie for me. But there has been some questionable things that have already happened though with this movie.
Like what?
All right, Cole Turner.
Oh, wow. Well, oh, wait. You mean the legendary Cole Turner? Star of MK1? That Cole Turner?
So Cole Turner is right now, and this for anyone who don't already know, but is a new character that's just been invented for the movie, who's supposed to have a major role. Now, I'm not really going to go over the whole artifact. We just did that too. But when you give someone as a, my God. So the first thing, if you type in the word Cole Turner, wait, I want you to do that for me real quick. You might know who the actor is if you see him at first, but let me know who you see when you type in the words Cole Turner on Google.
Okay, let's see. Cole Turner.
Not Mortal Kombat Cole Turner. Just type
Just
in
Cole
Cole
Turner?
Yep.
Um, he looks like I've seen him in like random roles on TV. He looks like one of those guys who does like cameos here or there.
Okay. So go back to Wikipedia and type in Cole Turner.
Okay. 1 second. Wikipedia. Cole Turner. He's a fictional character from the series Charmed, played by Julian McMahon. Never seen Charmed before, but I have heard of it.
I'm not gonna lie, I have watched it because that's one of the shows I grew up watching. But the whole point is like
Oh,
you just want
Alyssa
a name
Milano.
like, huh?
Alyssa Milano was in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what it is then. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you just want to name like Cole Turner, and then people who don't know anything about Mortal Kombat, which us in Mortal Kombat don't know nothing about Mortal Kombat anymore, I guess at this point. But people are like, oh, so they're combining charm and um Mortal Kombat now. They're gonna be a crossover. That's cool. Like, I
I
mean, technically it has a similar beat to um the first Mortal Kombat movie. Because that little line where Sonya's like, "So three random people on a leaky boat's gonna save the world." Charm is about three girls, three magical sisters, I guess, who's gonna save the whole world week by week. So yeah, you could kind of go with the whole same fact, like, oh yeah, you got mystical fact in Mortal Kombat, you got mystical fact in Charm, 3 and 3, yeah, crossover, Cole Turner, yeah.
holy shit, yeah.
And the only reason I say this though, because I know how stupid people are.
Well, he's Australian, so it works.
That
The guy who played him, he's fucking Australian. Oh my Jesus, they got him for this. It's literally Cole Turner. All right, well, I mean, fair play. If Alyssa Milano's in it, then I'll watch.
He's not gonna be in you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. You know what's funny? Like I knew I had heard the name before. Oh, but it's because over here they call it like witches or something like that. They call it like Strega, which is just witches. So it's a huge show, of course, or at least it was. So yeah, all right. Well, I'm definitely interested in seeing how this guy um goes from a TV show on what channel was it on? CBS.
It was on. Well, I'm not sure what it was for you guys there, but originally it was on this WB. That's what it was on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. See right here. Yeah.
But now CBS owns WB, so yeah, it's on CBS now or
Mhm.
CW.
Yeah. All right. Well. Um. Yeah. At least we have answers. You just cleared up everything.
So you
So
have more questions still.
you know, I'm instantly way more interested now after seeing Cole Turner, a badass like him. Scorpion has no shot. Literally no shot.
Well, that's the thing too. I think that would be really cool if that was going to be somewhat the case. I know people will get pissed off still, regardless. But my thing is, it's from what it sounds like. It kind of like they gave him Deadshot's story.
All right. Well, that's not a bad. That's the good. That's at least positive. Deadshot's a pretty cool
We don't
character.
need more people with guns in Mortal Kombat. We have enough guns.
What do you mean? You mean like he's literally Deadshot, or you mean like his backstory?
His backstory is still back to Deadshot, but apparently he's in. I think he's in league with Kano.
So he's just gonna be a super
A main
a beast of a
character that's
sniper.
a Black Dragon.
Mm. Which isn't
You're gonna
necessarily a
have main
bad
characters
thing.
for Special Forces. How did that get work out?
Yeah. I mean,
Everyone fucking hates the combat kids. Most of them.
God, that sucks, man. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm worried. You've already got me worried. Going into that was pretty much. I was avoiding all news about who the fuck Cole Turner was. 'Cause I just wanted to act like he didn't exist. Now I'm worried again. Not really worried. It's just I'm prepared.
Well, they confirmed it. Well, here's the thing: they have two actors on the list whose um roles have not been posted yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of backlash about the whole Cole Turner thing. One is an older male who supposed to be like a fighter who's all he saw was that he can spend time with his daughter once a week or so. And the other, they didn't give a description of. They didn't get a description of her, like what her character is. But pretty much she fits the role like would be someone's daughter though.
So it's Katana more than likely. Considering Melina's there, you would expect Katana's in there.
Yeah, but Melina's older on the movie, so.
All right, maybe not then. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. but it's gonna release in January of 2021. So we're a year and a month away. Well, a little bit less, but I don't know, man. It's like it's hard for me to be excited. Honestly, I've got zero hype for it.
I want to be excited for it. I probably will end up being in the end, but like I said, I'm gonna be um conscious about it. Well, it's just like we don't know what this character's like. All right, so like, I've watched the show Charm before. Now, if they actually got a guy like that who's, it remembers like the equivalent of Scorpion almost, not really, but half demon who can throw fireballs, energy balls, and disappear and shit. Yeah, that'd be badass. But they have some random person who I think is in league with Kano. Kano doesn't even like Kano. Even Kano diehards don't like Kano.
That's true. Nobody does. It's pretty much impossible. He's played out, boring. The guy who they cast, he doesn't enthuse me at all as a Kano. Have you seen the guy?
No.
He's an Australian, which is okay, the accent. And the only thing that he's known for is a sitcom called House of Lies, and he looks kind of like a Barney Stinson kind of guy, or whatever the guy's name, whatever it is, Neil, whatever his name is. He's just from How I Met Your Mother. Yeah. Oh, now I know what I've seen him from. He was the host of Wipeout Australia. That's where I've seen him. Yeah. Let me go ahead and read you what he's been in. I'll tell you any like small roles or he's had or anything relatively, of notice. In 2013, he had a small role in Anchorman 2. Other than that, I don't recommend anything. I don't recognize anything that I may have seen. Freeloaders sounds familiar, but it doesn't look like it's anything I've seen. So yeah, like it looks like they really have a bunch of small name actors, but like you said, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just they don't look like they would be fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like at the same time, there are plenty of guys who beef up for Marvel movies. They get massive, so I guess they could get bigger for these. But
I mean, look at the whole. First of all, I learned that how I'm gonna be in the next Marvel movie. If you want to be in a Marvel movie, all you have to do is be Firestorm, not Firestorm. Wow, Human Torch in a movie.
yeah,
Because they took in both Human Torches and put them in some big roles inside of the MCU. Just saying.
The Human Torch just happens to also be Captain America.
Captain America and the brother from, Killmonger from Black Panther. Just saying.
Yeah, anything can happen.
So if you're Human Torch, you get to be in a Marvel movie. You can be anything in the Marvel movie except the person you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Except the character.
Well, I don't know, man. Like honestly, I don't know. None of this strikes me necessarily as like, man, this is looking like it's very promising. But at the same time, I don't really have any evidence here to tell me that it's gonna be an absolute shit show. So I'm not like pessimistic or anything like that, but I'm not optimistic either about this movie. So I'm just kind of going in here pretty much in the middle. It's like it could surprise me, but it could also just be a shit show. Yeah, I mean, it's been in development for a long time. That's for sure. It says since like 2010. So when they first did Rebirth. So that's usually not a good sign. I don't if you've seen any video game or any movie that's been, it's flip flop to start off as Rebirth, which of course is nothing like, or at least shouldn't be as far as I know, anything like what we're gonna be getting. Then of course Legacy came out, which was what this was supposed to be. They've been working on this for a long, long time. A bunch of different people have had their hands on the script and stuff like that. So that's usually a very, very bad sign.
Well, here's the difference between the guy who made Rebirth. Because here's the thing, it's not just like that though. Because when you say it like that, it's like really cut and dry. When honestly, so they gave him a budget. They wanted to do they saw that people wanted a movie, but they didn't trust it. Trust like the guy who had no experience whatsoever. And so they gave him a small budget to do a web series, which the web series got mixed reviews. Ish. And then they take first of all, the first season didn't have Liu Kang in it at all. And I don't care how much I love Katana, Melina, anyone from India. I know you don't have a Mortal Kombat anything without Liu Kang.
Unless you're doing something that isn't necessarily connected to, to Liu Kang. If you're doing something outside of it, then okay. But if you're doing something that's literally, Mortal Kombat 1, yeah.
Even Deadly Alliance was about Liu Kang. He died, but it was still pretty much about some people avenging his death because of the Deadly Alliance.
Yes. He was the main person in it, for sure.
Still, even when he's not there, he's there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like having, I don't know, I'm not going to say Spider-Man like not having Spider-Man, but that's kind of, he's pretty much the hero. It's like, no doubt about that, you know what I mean?
I don't know. That's just... But that was the whole thing of season 1. That's one thing. But then all of a sudden, we're pulling people from out of time and different areas. I don't want to get too... It's going to make my head hurt thinking about that crap again. But the point was, yeah, they had different people working it, but looking from... I've started to learn that people lie to protect their jobs. People don't get pissed off at them. I started to pick up on that a little bit.
You mean from the movies and gaming standpoint, or just in general?
Yes, both of those.
Both of them, okay.
But because let's look at it. So Bliss 16-bit sold, but the problem was that she said that pretty much on live podcast, she had to tell everyone that, well, this is not like a recon, it's not a retcon or an alteration of Sindel's story. This is the real Sindel. This is the real deal. This has always been Sindel. She's always been evil.
Yeah, bullshit. Fucking bullshit. I'll fucking fight you any day of the week. Hell no.
But I understand that too. And even Tyler looks like, oh fuck, we're gonna get our asses killed. Hey, so many death threats.
Dude, what? I don't want to talk about Sindel.
But my point is, though, like, he has to say, instead of he can just say, oh yeah, I'm not sure why the fuck they did this, but here's Sindel for you. They have to still sell the character, even though they know, you already know how bad everything else is.
Yeah, I don't envy him at all to be in that situation.
Well, my thing was, for one, like, my hope was this, that maybe the ending will show some clarity saying, oh, well, she's not that bad. She was just brainwashed the entire time.
Imagine they introduce her with a retcon, and her ending literally retcons the new retcon. That was a retcon of a retcon. It's just a never-ending retcon with these fucking motherfuckers. I swear, I'm actually starting to get pissed off.
But the point is that back when when Legacy came out, there was an interview done with the movies, like behind the scenes, pretty much. And I'm not gonna waste like trying to remember that guy's name, his last name, but his name was Kevin, I believe. And he talked about how much he was a big fan of the series and stuff like that.
I mean, that's a bold-faced lie. I mean, there's no way that anybody was an actual fan of that series.
I mean, something, no, not even that series. I'm talking about Mortal Kombat as a whole.
Ah, okay, then fine. I thought you meant
No, but that's
Legacy.
still a bold-faced lie, though. Because you don't have to stick to the source material to do a good job, but you were trying to do as best for some of the people. The only people who support your shit are Mortal Kombat fans, and if you're gonna give some bullshit like that, then you obviously either A, underestimate how serious people take Mortal Kombat, or B, you're just trying to find a quick buck at that point.
It's probably a little bit of both.
I mean, the only reason why I wouldn't take my Mortal Kombat show to a network is because I know I'm going to get so many death threats because of one thing I would want to do.
Yeah, what would that be?
Now, if I had my way, because you already have the... Okay, so the female chameleon has an actual role to the series. The male does not. I would rewrite him in a way that actually put him in an important light. Maybe even add him with the children of the god from the god of Edenia. So Rain, Taven, and Dagon. Give him a strong role so he actually has something to do. And still work around everything else. But everything else, I would keep the lore. Just add one little thing that would change some stuff.
I mean,
which we can get more details out of our free time about that.
We could. Spoiler alert: if I had my way, Suhao and Dairu would be the stars of a future Mortal Kombat TV show. So I think we can definitely.
So Cole Turner.
Who? Sorry.
Cole Turner, pretty much, just with. Well, no, at least those actual characters though that they made.
And Suhao has potential, man. He has a lot of potential.
Not as much as Darius.
Darius, man, I've been changing my views on Darius. He's really, really, really been earning himself a nice big spot in my heart, man. I might main him if they release him as DLC. And Combat Pack 2.
Someone likes to keep their job.
Yep. Hey, I'm not gonna sit here and confirm nor deny that I was just lying straight out of my ass, but let's just say, man, lately I've been having some thoughts about Darius. I'm not going to say anything other than that. He's a thing, and he exists. And it might hurt me, and it might make me extremely happy, but let's just say I have emotions towards him. Yeah. Do you have anything, I guess, else you want to say about the movie before we wrap this up? Because there's really not much for me in terms of movie that I want to talk about left, at least for now. As info comes out, well, of course we'll be talking about it for sure. But as for right now, there's really not much to go on.
No, so there's not much else to go off of because there's still the movie. All we know is the movie's in post-production now, so we have to just wait and see how everything else goes.
Yeah.
Because honestly, at the end of the day, if Warner Brothers doesn't back it like they need to, then it's probably going to be a shit show again. Be Legacy's just our movie screen this time.
Yeah.
But no, I'm done here.
Yeah, I think I will add one thing to that because you brought up a fair point. A lot of this really does depend on how much Warner Brothers put into it and how much they care about Mortal Kombat as a license. I will say that if this movie had come out before MKX, I think it probably would have 100% been an absolute shit show. But I think that because a lot of the casuals, the casual gamers have been moving towards Mortal Kombat and the sales have been going up a lot more. I'm not necessarily going to say that they care about the license in terms of doing the right thing, but I think that they realize that this is a cash cow, big enough to where they don't want to just make something that's absolutely horrible. So I think they will try to do their best to make sure it's at least presentable. Whether that means it'll be, you know, just flat out boring, or whether it'll be very safe or what, I don't necessarily know. But I think you do bring up a fair point that Warner Brothers are going to be a very, very important here. Yeah, I think MK11, it outsold MKX like big time, right?
I don't know. I don't care no more.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what I saw. And if that's the case, then that means that they are, because of the amount of guest characters they have, that means that more randoms are interested, which means they're going to have a lot more opportunities to introduce these to some of the more mainstream, I guess you can quote unquote say, which isn't
Here's
good
the
for
problem
us.
with that.
Hmm?
Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. The problem with that, though, I don't want. I just had this thought now. I didn't even think about it until you said that. With the whole guest characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be standing in fucking line and listen to somebody say, "Oh, I heard Jason Voorhees gonna be in this movie as well."
The fucking Halloween special. Jason Voorhees kills the Mortal Kombat universe.
Or freaking Freddy Krueger. Did you hear that Robert? I completely forgot his name. The guy who played Freddy Krueger. He also was
Yeah.
Scarecrow in the last Injustice game.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. But I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. But my point is, you hear he's going to come back play Freddy Krueger? Yeah, he's going to be the new Mortal Kombat movie. Do you hear that?
Yeah, and you heard it here. I'm gonna go ahead and pitch this idea to you. All right, because I think that this could be God of War 5. All right, so he's pretty much gone through. He completely wiped the floor with every single Greek god. Right? He's gonna proceed to destroy every Norse god there is. What's left that he's been in Mortal Kombat? He's gonna destroy every single god that there's ever been in Mortal Kombat, and he's gonna end it with the one being. I don't like the idea either, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm okay with that.
Oh, you are okay with that? Okay. I don't know.
What do the Elder Gods provide anymore?
Absolutely nothing.
What does Raiden provide anymore?
Fuck all.
That's pretty much all as that.
Yeah. Chronica is garbage. Well, not really garbage, but they
She's
executed.
She's a traitor.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. So she doesn't count, but
She's still a bitch though.
yeah, she's a twat. Yeah. All right, that's a great way to end it. Insulting Chronica, as we rightfully should. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, check out some of our older ones. If you haven't, if this is maybe your first time checking us out, we have a bunch of content, and thankfully right now, things are looking good for both of us. So you'll be hearing a lot more from us. We've said that before.
We keep saying that, but we mean it this time.
Yeah, like this time it's legit. This time it's legit. So I'm gonna be in a lot more of a stable situation unless things fall through, which I don't think they will. I'm pretty confident. Which means I'll have a set schedule, and that means I'll be available in the evening, which means we can actually record. So finally, right? So
yeah,
we got plenty of stuff. Stuff to finish our discussions about the rest of the series that we haven't covered yet, and of course, as info comes out about this movie, we'll be giving you our thoughts there. And if there's a Combat Pass 2, then we'll definitely be talking about that. I do have some things I want to talk about when it comes to that, but we'll discuss that in a future episode. So, guys, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
later.
All right, see you guys.